Dear friends, masters, and co creators, this is Dr. Kavitha Kukunoor, founder of KHA Miraculous Minds. Welcome you all. Before we start, we always thank Universe for giving us this great opportunity by meditating on the most supreme Lord, the Creator, with Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yono Prachodayat. Om Sri Matre Namaha. Taking Lord Hanuma blessings and his divine light to give me strength. Whatever I share today flows from Sita through Dena Merriam and to me, and I am merely their humble servant. And before we start session, friends, let us meditate for 5 minutes. And I will play short music. So sit comfortably wherever you are. Clasp your hands. Cross your feet, clasp your hands, close your eyes, and just observe our natural, easy, tranquil breath. Breath is our guru. If thought comes, then just observe your breath. Last 30 seconds, masters. And when you are ready, place your hands on your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And open your eyes with a beautiful smile. Thank you, masters. And today, April 19, 2026, as part of Swadhyaya, I feel truly blessed to narrate a topic from Dena Merriam's new book, Sita's Yoga, on topic The Yoga of Knowing Ram. Along with me, Swapna Ellendula from USA and Swapna Sri from India will also be part of this book reading. With deep gratitude and heartfelt thanks to Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji and Swarnamala Amma. Also taking blessings and thanking my family, parents, extended family, all divine masters, gurus, and friends. KHA Miraculous Minds Meditation Group, PSSM, PMC channels, and our caste study group doctors. I offer my sincere gratitude and heartfelt thanks to Dena Merriam for blessing me with this opportunity to speak on her new book. Author Dena Merriam, who was born and brought up in USA. Through her spiritual depth and innate abilities, she has profound experiences connected to Treta Yuga, Sri Ram and Sita Ma, and her earlier work, Untold Story of Sita, also known in Telugu as Sitayanam, has brought deep transformation in many lives, inspiring greater love and reverence for Sri Ram and Sita Ma. And she began her work in Interfaith Movement in 1990s as Vice Chairman of Millennium World Peace Summit. And she is the founder of Global Peace Initiative of Women. For over 40 years, she has been a student of Paramhamsa Yogananda and a meditation practitioner. She received the Nirvana Peace Prize for her interfaith peace efforts, and she has authored several books. This book, Sita Yoga, was not my original selection. For those who are watching this session for the first time, let me share how I got into this book series. When I had a conversation with Dena Merriam recently, end of February this year, she told about her new book, Sita's Yoga, which just released. And in our discussion, she suggested that I should read it immediately. So immediately ordered the book, and on March 8th, on International Women's Day, with the blessings of Sita Ma, I took the opportunity to speak on the topic, the yoga of selfless action. And also March 9th, Dinaji's birthday. So we are truly fortunate to receive her blessings through her sacred work. And recently, we are so blessed to have a session with Dr. Saraja Kullapalli Amma from Australia on humanity and spirituality. And I truly feel this book is not an ordinary book. Perhaps only when we are blessed by Sitama, Sri Ram, and Hanuman, we receive the blessings of such a book and the wisdom it carries. The topics were picked randomly based on intuition. I just connected spiritually with the friends and the masters. And we shared several insights from the book with different topics, and all the recordings have been compiled into the playlist Ka book series on Sita's Yoga. They are available on the YouTube channel Kavitha Kukunoor. And the topics so far, who have missed, they can watch. The topics that were covered are the Yoga of Remembrance with Chitra Kamal from KHA Miraculous Minds, the Yoga of Merging with Unified Field, Swayam from Joy Team, the Yoga of Transcendence of Name and Form with Priyanka Devaraj and Krishna Miriala, the Yoga of Inner Attunement with Bhargavi Pingali, with KHA Miraculous Minds, and Yoga of Self-Reflection and Non-Reaction with Light and Soul Meditation Group, Yoga of Mind over Matter Joy Team, Yoga of Awakening Heart with Sunita Shivkumar, KHA Miraculous Minds, Yoga of Love, Joy Team, and Yoga of Non-Interference with Joy Team, the Yoga of Selfless Action with PMC USA, Yoga of Non-Possessiveness with Light Workers TV, Yoga of Forgiveness with Bhiksha Master. And we are truly fortunate to have Dena ji on our sharing Yoga of Gratitude on our KHA platform last year. And so truly feel blessed to be part of sharing and learning experience of this book. And also we are so blessed to welcome Dena ji on Mother's Day. So to host a retreat based on her book. So do not miss that opportunity. Do everyone join. So Dena Merriam book always starts with visionary dreams, and Dena ji says, for the first time, I'm writing a story that is not mine. And it is a story that has been told to me, to Dena ji, the narrator of the story, a great soul who abides in the high astral realm, filled with consciousness of Sita Ma, also known as Mata. So it is a story of named Devani, showing the glimpses of life end of Treta Yuga. So this is the yoga of knowing Ram. The love emanating from him. I have never felt anything like it. Just being in his presence changed me. So this is Devani saying her experience with Ram. The doorway to the divine often stares us in the face, found in the most obvious of places. There is nowhere to go except within, nothing to achieve except what already is. Our search can take us to many places, but in the end, we are back at the beginning, where we have always been. So she says that always our internally everything is within us, nothing to and nothing to achieve except what already is. So we have enough which already it is there within us, and our search can take place as many places, but at the end it is all comes back to the beginning where we have always been. I knew this intellectually, but I did not really know it deep inside. Ironically, it was Mandar who opened the door for me, the one whom I had kept at arm's length for so many years, finally peered open my heart in a very real way. And it was the coming to completion of a resisted relationship, the releasing of the last wastage of judgment, and the melting away of the illusion of separation. So Mandar is Devani's husband. So what she is saying was she was not showing like giving back enough love to her husband Mandar. So though that is what she has been ignored or neglected. Weeks passed and Manda's condition did not improve, no matter how much I tended to him, providing all the medicine I knew, and then some, and reciting the sacred mantras. He continued to deteriorate. Since Anu entered the household, most often she shared the sleeping mat with him, and I slept in the other room with the children. So Manda, her husband, got sick, seriously sick. And so Mandar had two wives. So Devan is the first wife and Anu is the second one. Mandar, he loves Devani, and since she could not bear children, could not give children, so she requested Mandar, her husband, to marry Anu. Anu loves Mandar, but Mandar loves Devani. So it is usually Devani she make sure that he is with Anu. And I slept in the other room with the children. It was an arrangement that I preferred, but not one that made Mandar happy, because Mandar loves Devani. Often he complained, but I insisted that Anu would feel threatened if I were to share his bed, which might have been true in the earlier years, but was no longer the case after Anu and I reconciled. Yet it was an excuse that I stuck so that I could spend my nights in meditation, the only time I was free of all responsibilities. So Anu, Devani felt like Anu will get, she don't like it, and so that is the reason she do not want to uh, sleep with her husband. So she sleeps with the children, and also she will stay separate room. That way she can do more meditation and get connected to Mata Sita Ma. Now he meekly requested that I share his bed and that Anu sleep in the second room. I approached Anu with this request and she pleaded with me. Devani, do this for him. For so long he has wanted to be with you. I knew this, but I never pressed you because you wanted time alone for meditation. But now he needs you far more than he needs me. As she spoke, tears gathered in her eyes and I put my arm around her. Anu, my love expresses itself differently, but it is no less. Of course, I will be with him now. So now Anu, she is also kind enough. Earlier she was not good enough. She's trying to protect her husband. But now since mother health has deteriorated, now Anu is kind and she says, Devani, please spend time with mother. Emotionally, Mandar always leaned on me, and for the most part, I was comfortable with this. But I also sought my escape. In the last few years, I had come to realize there is no escape. I was touched by Soma's story of the sage who came down from the mountains to see Janaka Baba and never returned to his hilltop place of solitude. Janak Baba inspired him to serve in a different way, and from then on he lived among the people, assisting them in whatever way he could. I had long ago made peace with the fact that this was the direction given to me as well, but internally a part of me still resisted, however faintly. So, what she's saying is, why Devani wants to stay separate is she wanted to connect to Mata. So that is what she felt. But she do not want to get into this materialistic kind of life. So, but one time a sage came and Soma is another great devata associated with Sitama and she gets all the channeling messages. So when Devani heard a story from Soma, that a sage came from mountains and after he met Janaka Baba, he told he did not go again back to the mountains. He is now with the people, helping them. So now Devani is connecting her life to that story, saying that now I need to spend time with my husband. That is what I have to do. She is learning that is the message she got it instead of resisting and going separating herself and getting connected with the god, with the mata. The people and events in one's life are there for a purpose and our greatest test is how we react to them. See, people in our events life, there is a purpose. Whatever events are happening today, we are connected as a Sajjana Sangat. There is a reason. Between three of us, there is a reason that we are connected. On people who are joining this session or hearing, there is a reason and there is a purpose. And our greatest test is how we react to them. I had not always reacted well. I knew that under the guise of allowing space for Anu, enabling her to express her love, I had excused myself from my responsibilities to Mandar, and this hurt him. I knew that he waited and waited for me to come to him as a loving wife, but I could not, at least not in the way he expected. This was my last opportunity and I gratefully embraced it. So now she is saying, don't, Mandar, is loving me so much, and he expected even before the marriage with Devani, she told Mandar that, see, you should give me freedom, my own time, that I get my own spiritual space. Then he agrees. That is why he is not finding fault with her. Now she realized that he has been wanted me, but I'm not spending time. Now this is the last opportunity for me to spend time with him because his health is not good. He is deteriorating. Now each night I would lie by Manda's side until he fell asleep and then rise and meditate in a corner of the room. If I heard him stir in the night, which was often, I would return to his side, cutting short my meditations, but I did not mind, for he was my meditation now. One, so now Devani used to sleep in the same room and sit beside him. And as soon as he sleeps, she will get into the meditation. And now she realized that being with him is the meditation. See, same thing, right? We have small children. When we have small children like Swapna, for her, taking care of the children, spending time with them, that is the part of a meditation. Yeah, and you are doing very great job, Swapna. Uh, But my meditation, but I did not mind, for he was my meditation now. One night when I thought he was asleep, I sat up and began to rise from the sleeping mat. When he placed his hand on my arm and asked me to stay, so I lay down again. So for so long, Devani, you have resisted me, yet my love for you never wavered. wavered. I put my arm on his chest and looked into his eyes as I replied, it is not that I have turned away, Mandar, it is only that my spiritual life has come first. You know that. So Devani is saying, see, Mandar, I did not turn away from you. It is my spiritual life that I was putting as first priority. Do you remember what I told you before we married? So she is reminding him what promise he made. I shook my head. Even then, you resisted me and you spoke those very same words. But do you remember what I replied? Again, I shook my head. Was for this reason I loved you so. Devani loved Mandar because he agreed to her request. I admired your commitment, which I found in no one else, and I told you I would support all your efforts and never restrain you in any way. Do you remember? His words from long ago returned to me, and I nodded, a bit teary eyed, as he continued, when you would go to the forest and sometimes remain there through the night. I was proud of you, Devani. I was proud to be your husband when you did not react to the divisions in the village, to all the anger and accusations. So now Mandar is appreciating her. See, and she goes to the do meditation in the night sometimes. Still, he admires her commitment. And in the village also, when there was conflict and accusations, she was neutral. She did not get react. I was again internally proud of you, although perhaps I did not know how to show it. And at times, I know my emotions got the best of me. See, sometimes wife and husband, they may not show their love, they may not show their emotions. That is what it is showing us. I haven't always understood you, but your spiritual efforts have been my silent support, and I do not know what would have me become of me without you. So he's saying that your spiritual efforts have helped me. Mandar, I began in a low voice. He interrupted me. I have wanted to say this to you for so long. I have not always understood you, but I also think that you have not always understood me. Often, when you appear to be emotionally distant, I would think of our Maharaja, who was separated from his beloved wife for so many years, and this would bring me comfort. How often I thought of him so far away in Ayodhya, apart from his wife and children. So, what they are saying, just like we have to compare our life with Rama and Sita. And if you haven't, anyone who haven't read Untold Story of Sita, Dena Merriam has told all the myths and facts. Ram and and where even I mentioned in the recording, one of the recording with the Dena Merriam, because we have so many have misbelief. We consider Sita Ma as a victim, but that was not the case. So now in this, they were saying that when Prabhu Ram or Sri Ram was able to stay without his kids, Laukush, when Sitama is with Laukush, not in the kingdom, right? In the cottage in the forest. But Prabhu Ram was alone. So that is what he is comparing. How is he is able to stay alone in the kingdom, taking care of the kingdom without his kids? And I think he's an example. So then Mandar was saying that I consider him as an example, and I'm not worried, I'm not sad. I often thought of him away, so apart from his wife and children, and he did not complain. Even though you were mentally distant, I could see you, hear you. So he was saying, see, in Sri Ram, Sita Ma is there. In Sita Ma, Ram is always there. Though they are physically far, physically separate, but they are mental and inside they have. So that is what even Mandar was saying. I can see you, I can hear you. Be comforted by your words and presence and quietly watch you. How much that has meant to me. And I would stop here and I want Swapna Ellendula, please continue. Swapna, you are muted. Huh? Yeah. You thought of Prabhupada.
I'm reading 225.
221.
221? Okay.
Yes.
Be comforted by your words and presence and quietly watch you. How much that has meant to me. You thought of Prabhuram? I asked in surprise. He nodded. There were times when I felt rejected by you, and he would come into my mind, and I would hear the words, remain steady in your love, no matter what comes. That has been my sadhana. Those words helped me get through many difficult days, and it has been my practice for years not to let anything disturb the love I have for you. He has shown me your heart, and I have heard him say that your mental and emotional absence was your way of protecting yourself. But your love is there. I know that deep inside. Pribram guided you. I asked in a breaking voice. I never knew that you never shared that with me. And you never shared with me anything about the one you call Mata, our Maharani. He replied quietly. You know that she's Mata? I asked in surprise. How could I not know of the one who is in your heart for so long? I have waited for you to share something of your relationship with her so that I would not be left on the outside, excluded from your inner life. It was then and only then that I told Mandhar of my long relationship with her, how she came to me in dreams when I was child, how I met her in the forest, and I realized she was a real person, but he did not know. she was the Maharani. I told him about my relationship with Soma and how she has transmitted Mata's teachings to me over the years. After I finished, he smiled and thanked me for the sharing and then said he would also share something. When the Maharaja came to the village, he met with a few people privately. He also asked to see me. I looked at my husband in surprise and exclaimed, You never told me. He smiled and replied, We both have had our secrets. He showed, he showed me my past with you and said, I consciously choose you, knowing that you would fully devote yourself to the spiritual path, and that our relationship was the purpose of helping me overcome a weakness.
So here I will stop, Swapna. So
Mhm.
both, see, just like in wife and husband relation, sometimes husband may not tell, right,
And the
and
secret.
keep it to themselves. And
Mm-hmm.
same thing now. See, this both, they are, what they are doing is, for him, Mandar, husband, right? He saw Prabhuram, and all that he could not tell Maharaja. And for her, Sita Devi, she was keeping to herself. She did not tell. So now you did not tell, but now they're expressing their whatever that one. And in the past life, this Maharaja Sri Ram, he told Mandar about her relationship with her, and to her also, Sita ma'am, when she got connected to her before getting married to him, she gives permission. Yes, you have to go, because all that she saw in the past life, they had connected. So now in this life, they got connected.
Yeah.
Yeah,
223, right?
yeah, 222. Weakness,
222.
yeah, overcome a weakness that was
Mm-hmm.
hampering my spiritual progress. 222.
That was hampering my spiritual progress, and he told me something else. Mandar felt quiet and turned his face away. Despite the darkness of the night, I could see or perhaps feel the tears brimming in his eyes. But he said nothing. There was a stillness in the room and quietness that capped the emotion, seeking to bubble up. And after a few months, I prodded him. Mandar, I said quietly, I feel a deep sadness in you now, and it has become my sadness. I don't know what to do. He turned to look at me and shook his head, replied, The sadness is gone. He took it away. What did he say? Please tell me. Mandar talked a bit before speaking. The death of our Sachi had a devastating effect on me, and for so long I could not get over it, although I kept it to myself, and so as not to burden you and Anu. Not a day went by when I did not think of our daughter and imagine all the ways I could have prevented her death. Prabhuram knew this, and he told me that our Sachi has been reborn in a very good family and will have a good life. That in her new birth, she will marry Sadhanath, and she was meant to do. Then he told me it was her death that stirred the embers of angers in me, an anger that found expression in other words, in the feeling of victimhood that has always warned me about.
One
When he
second,
told
I
me,
will stop here, Swapna.
Mhm, mhm,
So,
mhm,
Sachi is their baby, right?
then,
So,
yeah, mhm,
girl.
mhm,
And what happened when she passed away at early age only, and that got a deep sorrow in them. So, but what happened was, Prabhuram says that okay, she will be reborn again in the village as a different name. And in the Sadanand was also a person who likes Sachi, her daughter, and
Mhm.
so that then he says no, she when she will born again in the village, and she will marry him in the with the new incarnation. That is what they are saying. And after that there is an anger. So what the message it is coming is this, all that one they are knowing it ahead, that based on that karma. So preparing, they can see their past life, and they can see what is coming up in future. And so and that anger, all that made them that victimhood. So now so he's revealing all that anger now, that scenes. Okay.
When he told me this, I recognized the truth of his words. Before her death, I never experienced much anger, but afterward, the slightest thing would set me off. You know that, you have seen it, yet I never made the connection. He told me that the outer world is mirror revealing the parts of ourselves that need attention. Sachi's death did just that. It brought out the later anger, which he helped to diffuse and dissolve. He released me out of this weight I was carrying around. Tears trickled from Mandar's eyes, and with my hand I wiped them away. When he spoke again, his weakened voice grew strong and full of conviction. The day Prabhuram's words to me were not many, but his presence, Devani, his presence was behind what words can express. That I recognized his presence as having been with me for a long time, since childhood.
Really?
Yeah. Can
Yes.
I continue?
Yeah, continue.
Mm.
Yeah, this page you continue. Swapna. Yeah.
223, I'm reading.
Yes.
Really? But I had no name for it. In the same way that your Devi has been with you, so he has been with me. Seeing him that day in the flesh was the fulfillment of a long held desire. One I did not even know I had, but that I carried from a past birth. The love emanating from him, I have never felt anything like that. Being in his presence changed me. I have not experienced any anger or sadness since that time. I knew that the illness is the burning of karma I created in his life, and I am grateful for that. I don't want to carry any regrets with me.
Here
His
I'll
tears.
stop 1 second,
Mm,
Swapna.
mhm,
So, what in presence of Maharaja Sri Ram, Mandar has totally transformed. His anger has all gone, and so nice because he saw. See, when God comes, when we are connected with God, that happiness and everything was so full of. Fulfillment, and his desire to see him it got fulfilled. And what he's saying, that illness is burning of the karma. Now he's suffering with that illness. It is his karma is all getting resolved, dissolved.
mhm. Yeah. His tears ceased, but mine now started as I realized how I had misunderstood Mandar all these years. How different it is to know a person's internal life, what they experience that words can never express. After Sachi's death, I was so absorbed in my own grief and Anu's that I did not think of comforting him. Anu and I had each other, but he was alone in dealing with our family loss. And after that, when he grew angry at the injustices, perpetrated by Manish. How I judged him. Prabhuram graced him with his presence without a word or thought of judgment.
Here, one
I-
second.
Mhm,
Swapna, I will tell. Manish is the person who has a village head, and he created all conflicts for the land and injustices. Both his wife also. So they are saying about him, and there is another two people names will come, Uma and Kian. They are also in the village, and they do the meditation and they help. They are the friends. Yes. Oh. So he was what he
Dr.
said that Prabhuram did not, Sri Ram did not judge. Sri Ram graced him with his presence without a word or thought of judgment. He graced him with his presence but without any judgment.
I often wish the Mandar would be more like Kayan.
Kian.
How Kian. How I privately admired the partnership, the friendship, the love between Uma and Kian. Sadly thinking to myself that I had no much fortune. I am so sorry, Mandar, so very sorry. I whispered as deep regret arose in me. Regret for not showing him the love he deserved.
Here,
It
one
is not.
second, I'll stop. So, because in several other sessions we have covered this one, piece was missing. So, I thought whoever has not listened to this one. So, Uma and Kian in this life, they are so loving. Like, see, when you compare, your husband is so nice to you, he's loving to you, he takes care of you. He takes care of children. He cooks for you. He talks to you. He spends with you. He listens to you. He whatever you say, he listen to you. He's so patient. See, like that, Uma and Kian, now she's seeing Devani is seeing in them. See how lucky you are, Swapna. So nice
Mhm,
husband. Both of you.
mhm,
How lucky
mhm,
we feel. But for Uma and Kian, in this life, they are nice, spiritual. They have seen their past life where there was so much hate between wife and husband, quarreling, fighting. So there was no peace, but they have all transformed and attained a stage both loving. So if you think your husband is nice, loving and
mhm,
caring, means you both have underwent so many things and come to this stage, to
Yes.
this stage. So
Mhm,
now Devan is saying that how nicely you both are, Uma. Yeah, Uma and Kian, both are wife and husband. How loving you are, how fortunate you are. You both are so nice. But she did, but in the what happened, she did the past life that was not revealed here.
mhm,
They are
mhm,
saying just this one, but you're so lucky.
mhm. Yeah. And it's not your fault. Devani, he consoled me. That is not why I am saying all of this to you. He drew me close. I did not resist and gently placed my um, head on his chest, wondering why I had felt the need to draw away from my husband in order to go deeper in my spiritual life. Mandar continued to speak, albeit in a very low tone. Prabhuram said he understood the pain of losing a child. He was separated from his children and could only see them on occasion, since the affairs of the kingdom kept him much occupied. Yet he knew that their mother was providing for them in a way that he could not. In truth, there is no separation, and Sachi has not be part from us. This is what he said. Devani, after she departed, Sachi remained aware of us and chose to take birth in our village. She is here, and I want to meet her before I leave.
Thank you so much, Swapna Ellendula. And now we want another Swapna. Please, you want to take the opportunity? Thank you. Yeah, when Mandar spoke. We cannot hear you, Swapna.
When Mandar spoke those words, the reality of the situation struck me. He knew he was dying. There was nothing I could do to keep him with us. And I became
Choked up.
closed up. I thought I had no attachment to Mandar, but attachment was still there. I did not resist it. What is the boundary between love and attachment? How hard it is to have human love without any attachment. I could hear Mandar's quiet breathing and knew he had fallen asleep. Normally, I would have gotten up to meditate, but I did not want to leave him. So I rested with my head on his chest. My mind turned to Prabhu Ram, I, and I was overwhelmed with gratitude for what he had done. Had he not come to our village, Mandar would have left this world with many regrets and unsolved emotions. But he had come and taken always burden, feeling him to move forward. For
So
the
here,
first time,
1 second, I will stop. Now Devani is saying just because Prabhu Ram, Sri Ram came to the village and her husband Mandar met him and transformed. If he did not come, Mandar would not have been changed. And he would still see now he's in the death bed, right? Suppose if he died without this having the regret is not good. We have to remove all the regrets and all the resolve all the karma. So she's saying, had he not come to our village, Mandar would have left this world with many regrets and unresolved emotions. Then again he will have to take another birth to overcome all of this. It is a cut short. We will take births, so many births until our karma is all dissolved. Now see in this Kali Yuga, now even if God comes also we are not able to see because our perception is not coming. They are able to feel it and see that difference. So that is what it's saying, freeing him to move forward. Yeah, continue.
time I realized that one cannot know another's inner attainment. Their behavior alone does not necessarily reveal this. Mandar had his own spiritual life timeline and had his own personal relationship with Prabhu Ram, the depth of which I could not know. Breathing into his past, I saw many lives in which he had been devoted to Narayan and that he had earned him to born of being born in the Kosala kingdom when Narayana took birth as Prabhu Ram, where he could meet his beloved Lord and the flesh. Such was the blessing he received, and I was given the blessing of marrying such a devoted soul. Surely Mata knew his devotion. I remembered how when I was young woman, she came me to dream as my Devi and indicated approval of my marriage. These thoughts subsided and I drifted into sleep. But somewhere in the night, Prabhu Ram appeared to me. He was not alone. Mata was by his side, and the love flowing between them was visible, tangible, exquisitely tender, and enormously joyful. And that love flooded my every being. And I looked into his eyes, which were it lit with gentleness, care, and closeness, causing me to feel the bonded to him as I did to Mandar himself, to my dear husband, who for so long I failed to recognize. As this awareness come to me, I heard a voice, and it was voice of Prabhu Ram saying, I am here. I will always be here.
So whenever she's hearing that Ram's voice, I am here, I'll be always here. So because she see that Ram and Sitama both are together. You are here. Next one. Swapna.
Yes.
You are here, I whispered again.
You are here, I whispered again and again. Was I asleep or awake? I did not know. Was I pulled by Mandar's desire or my own? Or was it simply the calling of love? I could not tell, but somewhere in the night, for the first time in my married life, I reached out of Mandar and initiated intimacy. Staring in his sleep or half awakened state. He responded with person and tenderness I gently welcomed. It was a joy-filled moment in the time, the gift of giving and receiving love. After all those years, it was my husband who brought me into the presence of Prabhu Ram. As the words I am here
Reverberated.
reverberated through my heart and my mind and every layer of my being. Remarkably, Mandar improved after that night. He regained some of the strength, and he was able to eat and even walk around a bit. Despite his frail condition, he was in fact glowing. Even Anu noticed and quietly asked me what I had done to him. I knew was not me, but Prabhu Ram. Those presence he had been so strong in the night. I was unsure how long his strength would last and determined for him to meet the reborn Sachi, but was unwilling to leave his side. I I telepathically sent Uma message for to bring her young noise to our home. I knew he would receive my message and do her best to our home. I knew he had received my message and best to complete. Shivani was now a vibrant youngster, close in the age Sachi. When she left us, I had seen her a few times, but kept my distance, allowing her to develop in her own way in her new family. Uma responded to my message saying that she would bring Shivani that next morning, and I conveyed this to Mandar. How should we receive her? He asked anxiously.
I will stop 1 second, Swapna. So now her Sachi reincarnated, born as Shivani in another Uma's sisters, as sister's daughter, as Shivani. So now, because she knows who Devani knows and Mandar knows that she is Shivani is Sachi only, but they were thinking how to tell Anu, second wife, co-wife, right? She did not know how to tell. So these they both know, like a reincarnation. So now how do we receive her? They were thinking.
She is Shivani now, the daughter of Uma's sister, not Sachi. We mustn't confuse things. I have seen her, and she is a bright, she has a bright and beautiful child, much like our Sachi. We decided not to say anything to Anu, but to present her as Uma's
Niece, yeah, Uma's niece.
Uma's Uma arrived with Shivani and accepted she was a cheerful, playful child. I asked Anu to prepare some food and I included what? Next.
Yeah, I remember. I remember to be Sachi's favorite snacks.
I remembered to be Sachi's favorite snack. The child went to those first two consumed them all. I whispered to Uma that we should leave Mandas and Shivani's alone. So we withdraw to the doorway of the next room, a part of them, but within hearing distance. Shivani was not shy at all. The Mandars, and in a short while was snuggling up against him as she used to do when she was our daughter. Peering through the doorway, I saw her look up at him with her large, wide eyes, and I heard her say in her small child's voice, "You are the prettiest of all the fathers in the village." He chucked and replied, "But I am now an old man." She
Shook her head.
her
She
head
shook
and
her head.
"You are still the prettiest." He chuckled again, and I smiled as remembered how often Sachis used to say those very words to him. Then, then she lowered her voice, if so, share too secret, and even though I stood in the doorway, I could hear words. "You have been waiting for me. Haven't you? You told me that you missed me and that I should come soon." Mandar smiled and nodded as he put his arms around her to hug her. He did not resist. In fact, he hugged him tightly and then asked him to pray with her. How he was softened since to meeting with Prabhuram. I whispered to Uma that meeting I had indeed changed him. Although I was glad to see Shivani and Mandar together, there was a sadness into the meeting. Chachi and been reborn, but I knew deep inside that Mandar was leaving. Despite his regained strength, his life energy was not strong. Observing the two of them, Uma asked in whisper, "This Prabhu Ram blessing isn't it?" I nodded. He told Mandas that Sachi has been reborn in the village, but Mandar wanted to until recently to ask about it. I think he was unsure if he knew and wondered how it would affect me. Several other families experienced something similar when Prabhu came to our village, a deep healing of the unspoken wound. I see that you and Mandar are finally reconciled. He has always been your portal to Ram. Devani, only you haven't seen it. It was clear to me. His love for you is rare gift, unwavering like steady light, never questioning or interfering with what you do.
Thank you, Swapna. Let me continue and we'll just end in few minutes. Don't make me cry, I whispered in return. I have come to recognize it I have come to recognize it too late. Why have I distinguished between his love and Mata's love? It is never too late. You will have more months with him. It is not yet his time, and when his time comes you will accompany him through that transition. In fact, I already see him there with us in that other world. Through Prabhuram blessing, he has made great strides in these last few years. You were too focused on Mata to notice, but this is also her teaching. Devani, not to ignore what is right in front of you, but to recognize the gifts that are given. See, saying that whatever is in front of us, sometimes we ignore. But that is what she is saying, that Mata is saying that do not ignore whatever is right in front of you, consider it as a gift. After an hour or so, Uma and I saw that Mandar was tiring, and she announced that it was time for Shivani to return to her mother. Shivani seemed reluctant to leave and protested at first, but when Uma insisted, she turned to Mandar and said, I will see you again. He nodded with a smile. Now Mandar's health is deteriorating. So, and after they left, he turned to me and asked, Did you hear what Sachi, I mean Shivani, told me? I nodded and replied, That you are the prettiest of all the fathers. They were just whatever Sachi used to tell, same thing now Shivani is telling him. You are the prettiest father of all. That is what Sachi used to say, and how your heart used to sing when your daughter flattered you so. I remarked in a teasing tone. Then I grew serious. But she was and is right. Mandar, you have always been the handsomest man in the village by far. Yeah, Mandar is handsome person. Now see, they are collecting because it for Mandar last moments of his life, right? So they are recollecting all the precious moments they had together. And I have been lucky to have you, not for that reason, but for the quite spiritual support you have always provided. Until now, I have not realized how important that has been to me, how much help you have given me. They are appreciating and recognizing each other. The strange thing is that for several years after Sachi's death, I would dream of her, tell her, tell her that I missed her and ask her to return. Somehow she knew this. Eventually, I stopped having those dreams. In sleep, you visited her in the astral realm, and she has retained that memory. But as she grows into her new life, that memory will go dormant. So, what happens is Devani, in her meditation, she does the astral travel, astral realm. She goes into the higher realm and she can see the things, what is happening. And so now Sachi, when she comes as a new life, she forget that past memory, she's saying. Having will be dormant. Having seen her now, I feel that something has been completed. My earning is gone, and that is due to Prabhuram. I feel his presence with me. Devani, but do I deserve it? I have caused harm through my anger, haven't I? I put my hand over his mouth and asked him to hush. See, sometimes we say that no, I'm not good, I hurt you, like that. So she's saying that don't say like that. There is no such thing as underserving. Prabhuram saw the cause of your anger and uprooted it. At least your anger was in response to injustice, which is different form of anger. I once asked Mata about this because she and Prabhuram and Lakshman had to fight against Ravana and those who caused harm. So, see, Mandar had anger for the injustice of Manish, who is doing all this. So, she is saying that your anger is towards the injustice, just like when Lakshman and had to fight, Prabhuram and Lakshman had to fight against Ravana and those who caused harm. I wondered if they weren't angry and the harm he caused. After Lakshman was wounded, were they not angry? Lakshman got wounded, they got angry. Did anger not arise when so many of their allies were killed. And she responded to me internally, helping me to realize that the battle against destructive tendencies and personalities is a perennial struggle. But the outer form of anger in fighting injustice should not be matched by the inner one. So what is saying is this anger is there, but it has to be only towards the outer form, but it should not affect the inner one. Is fighting against the injustice should not be matched by an inner one. Sometimes we say that, right? We shout kids when they do wrong, but it is just with outward to scare them. Don't do like that, and we shout. But inside, we do not keep that anger, right? Just to for them, if you be strict, like if you say that okay, I will beat you, I will say, if you do like that, that is only towards the external, but inside, just if they do not listen, we just tell them little bit harsh, only for them, so that they can understand. Again, I remember the same saying, like I don't know whether we'll just in few minutes we will wrap up. There is one that story, like snake. I think it's a snake. You can correct me. Who is doing whoever is going was hurting them or causing harm. Then one sage goes that passes that side and says that, why are you like that? Behave good. Don't harm anyone. That is not good. Like that he says. Then that snake what does is okay, quiet. Then people started to be, since now it is not causing harm. Then other people started to beat and take advantage. So then the same sage was passing next time, the same side, and he saw that snake was dead, like weak, like that. Then the sage was saying that one, what happened to you? You then she says, the snake says that you only told keep quiet, not to harm, not to show anger, not. Then that sage says that, see, for to protect yourself, you should act like anger, you should mimic, but you should not harm. You should say that, like that you should do, mimic outer but not inside, right? So that is a message. So the same thing, inside it is not going, it is just for protection and for that situation, to witness it but not to succumb. It is a delicate balance. One must remain centered without losing one's perspective or the long term vision. One must remain apart from the anger that rises, to witness it but not succumb. It is a delicate balance. One time she showed me Devi Kali in an outward expression of rage, battling a fierce demon, but who at the same time was enjoying the beatific peace of the inner world. She did what she had to do externally, but internally was unmoved. Externally, she is showing like a Kali, but internally unmoved. Mandar met two more times with Shivani over the next few months, which was a time of gentle, loving letting go. He and I spent the days together with little interruption, and he spoke often of Prabhu Ram. It seemed that the words Ram spoke to him contained layer upon layer of meaning, which kept revealing itself to him as he continued to remember new nuances. I was not surprised that the one time he was in the physical presence of Prabhuram had such a profound impact on him. And I reminded myself that I had only met Mata. Mata means Sitama, a handful of times in her physical form. Most of my interactions were internal, and it seemed that it was the same for Mandar. I feel he continues to speak with him. He said to me one day, in fact, I feel as if I never left his presence. That is the truth, Mandar. He is here and he will always be here. I repeated to him the words I had heard that night of our coming together. Now, being in the presence of Mandar was to feel the presence of Prabhuram. And I wanted nothing more than to say in that presence. See, this sentence, being in the presence, Devan is saying, being in the presence of Mandar was to feel the presence of Prabhuram. We say that in Telugu, Patiye Pratyaksha Daivam. Husband is God. Husband is
God.
Physical God to us. See,
True.
today that is what I'm saying. You are listening this, and we are talking. Is there is something is connected to us? We have to appreciate our husbands. We have to recognize them. We have to understand them. That is the message that we both got, and we are giving to others through the session. Wanted to nothing more than to stay in that presence. I had no desire to go to the forest, no desire to go anywhere, not even to visit Soma. Soma is great, another great devata, I told, right? She gets channeling from Sitama. I knew the time was precious and how I wanted to hold on to that feeling of Prabhu's presence, which came to me through my husband. She is seeing Sri Ram's blessings through her husband. And since her husband is leaving the physical body, she can hear, I am here, I will be with you. So, and she got the Sri Ram's just because of her husband. You carry Prabhu Ram's presence. I said to him one evening, I feel him so strongly when I am with you. And it is most beautiful, loving presence. I had not experienced it until that night when we came together in union. I knew he was aware of what I was referring to, and he smiled without answering. For so many years, I have been absorbed in Mata without knowing her other half, which is him. And now I realize I could not fully know Mata without knowing him. She is connected to Mata. She sees Sitama, but she's seeing only from one perspective, only Sitama. But there is Ram in her. There is Ram in Sitama. That is what she is saying. Knowing Mata without knowing him, it makes me happy to know that I have been able to give you something, Devani, he remarked quietly. You have given me so much, more than I can say, I murmured. That night, as Mandar lay to rest, I lay down beside him and lifting his head onto my chest, I stroked his head. I heard his breathing grow slower until it became a mere whisper, with long pauses between breaths, and I knew he was leaving. It was a gentle, peaceful release, and as he was departing, I heard the words, I am here. And at that tender moment, I became absorbed in the presence of Prabhuram. I heard a voice, and it was the voice of Prabhuram saying, I am here, I will always be here. And after all those years, it was my husband who brought me into the presence of Prabhuram, as the words, I am here, reverberated through my heart, my mind, and every layer of my being. Thank you so much. And this session is really, really great, and great learning for each and every one to connect our relationships and our spiritual growth. But there is a, since the reason in the beginning itself I told all the other topics means, though each one is a separate topic, the names and everything, it is all the connection with the previous topic. Each topic there is some lesson to learn. So thank you so much, dear friends, dear master Swapna, and anything you wanted to say before we end?
A nice session, and actually, it's
So
good. Yeah.
blessed, and really appreciate, because see, raising children and everything, we as a mother, same thing. Sita ma, how she definitely untold story of Sita, you have to reach Dena Merriam's, and do not miss to in Mother's Day, Dena Merriam is coming. So
Okay.
on our platform, please, and just share your experiences, what you felt, how you felt. Because she has seen them, such a divine lady. We are able to get that information through this book. It is awesome, right? Yeah, and you're saying anything, Swapna? Yeah, you like it. Any other sessions you can connect. You can, whenever you get chance, you can hear, and there will be a connection. Each one you get a message.
ఓకే, చాలా బాగుంది అక్క సెషన్ అయితే. థ్యాంక్ యూ నాకు ఈ ఆపర్చునిటీ ఇచ్చినందుకు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for both of you for
Thank you.
sharing this book reading, and I'm glad. Sita Sriram blessings and Hanuma blessings are there for all of us, and we'll see again in another session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.